I love fire. I've always, since a child, loved to sit around a campfire, play with my finger through the candle kind of thing as a kid.
I think there's an exhilaration doing something that's a little daring and dangerous and people would not necessarily throw themselves right into.
A very common question people ask us is that real fire? Is it not stage fire? It's very real fire.
There are all kinds of artists in Chicago, and we're hanging out with Pyrotechniq, a professional team of Chicago-based fire artists.
We're all really fun people. You know, we're all very childlike in our inspiration, in our creativity, and coming together, that just expounds upon itself, and we get to do all these things that we always wanted to do.
As much fun as they have, working with fire is not as easy as it may look. Fire spinning is something that takes years of practice, and performing with fire as a team is something that takes more than just talent.
A willingness to listen, just to be able to hear how someone else views a situation, how someone else may want to approach a gig or a performance, come to find a medium.
It's a trust thing. Someone's always watching your back while you're fire spinning. You're trusting that safety with your life, essentially. And that allows for a deeper bond to happen between people, and thus allows our community to grow stronger and stronger.
There's no question that fire is a dangerous material to work with, and there are, of course, very strict safety precautions that must be made. They say most people are surprised to know that they spend most of their time practicing with no fire at all.
Practice time is when you're trying to develop yourself, develop your skills. You're going to drop it sometimes. If you're trying new things, if you're challenging yourself to grow, you know, it's not going to go well all the time. You might hit yourself in the face a couple times. You might hit yourself in the groin a couple times. We've all done it, you know, and you don't want it to be on fire when that happens.
But practice does make perfect. Frankie is the troupe's belly dancing, hula hooping fire eater and shows us how fire eating is done.
Occasionally, I do burn myself slightly. I think you have to kind of be a little willing to go through that. When I first started eating it, I did get some blisters in my mouth like the first few times because I was scared. I've learned to deal with that. And now it's more like when you eat the pizza right out of the oven and you're not patient enough to wait, so. It's the Kevlar wicking, just like most of our other tools. And I soaked them in some fuel. And then I make sure that my mouth is somewhat moist, not, you know, just to buff the skin, but it's all just oxygen. That's what the fire eats. Very straightforward. Cut off the oxygen. It's really fun to play with the fire this way, and the fuel that we're using for this is very specific because of its purity and also because of its transferability. And it's also then very combustible, so more dangerous, but the bugs liked it.
Troupe member Mark uses a staff as one of his performance tools.
Originally, I would say it's a kung fu weapon, but there's been plenty of cultures that have used stabs in their stuff. So you have your normal staff work where you're spinning it, and you know, you can do variations of that look pretty. Then you can make it really interesting by doing what they call contact staff without using your hands. So you find natural fulcrums on your body, and you let it rotate around those fulcrums until it reaches your hand again. It's kind of like partner dancing. I'm leading, my staff is following, but I have to respect where it's at, and I need to respect the way it needs to move too. And the whole idea is to enjoy a dance with a partner that you know well.
Pyrotechniq gives lessons in fire performing, and I decide to see what it's like to work very closely with burning flames. One of the most simple pieces of equipment to use in fire performing is the fire fan.
Okay, so safety first,
Yes.
obviously when we're working with fire.
Obviously.
And so I've worn all cotton, which
Yes.
I've been told to do.
Yes, because if you are wearing a synthetic material and you were to accidentally hit yourself, there's a chance that you would melt that fabric to your skin.
Wearing all cotton, we're good. All right.
Notice the wind, it's coming this direction. So if you're right here, that flame might be coming to lick your body. You know, you're not going to immediately combust. Since this is a quick training period for you, feel free to drop it. Just get rid of it.
Practicing my extra strategy. That's it, right? And then Lake Michigan is right behind us, so that makes me feel a little bit better about this too. Whoa.
So go ahead and raise them up.
I feel the warmth.
Right.
I'm feeling the warmth of this.
So if you want to angle your hand up more, there we go.
Okay.
And give it a like wave.
A wave up
There
and
you
down?
go. Yeah. Just
Oh
like a
my
nice rhythm
God.
there. You can hear the fire blow in the wind.
Spin like that?
Yes.
Mock hug.
So we go like this and we like
Okay, how does this look?
give yourself a little fan.
Okay, fan
Like,
myself.
oh my goodness.
Okay, this is not
So
cooling
hot.
me off at
so
all.
here, wave it.
Wave it?
Feel it.
Uh-oh, they're almost burning out.
Yes. And now
So
you
is
can
that
swoop
bad?
them to put them out. So
All right, so if you want to try fire, fanning can be a way to go. But again, right, you want to be safe with it.
you want to be
You-
safe.
You gotta.
You never want to do it alone. You always want to have a trained professional guiding you.
Now we're ready to move on to something a little more difficult called poi, the most popular and challenging choice for fire performers.
This is a poi.
This is poi, and we have 2 poi here. Poi are Kevlar balls, and then the handles at which will go on your fingers are leather.
Liz says poi is like jumping rope. It's all in the wrist movement. We practice some basic spinning and then onto a trick called the crossover.
1, 2, 3, crossover.
No,
Yep.
good
You
God,
gotta
no.
keep them all the way through. Go. Yep.
I hit myself again.
It's okay. It's
It's not as easy as it looks.
No, it's
At
not
all.
as easy as it looks.
It's not easy at all.
3, crossover. You did it.
I'm not gonna get too excited though. Oh, I'm not. Crap. Yeah, this could be bad if this was on fire.
Yes.
That would be
We'll
bad.
help you there. A little bit. Yeah. This is why we have a safety, because if you're on fire, this is a very dangerous thing.
All right, now I have a total appreciation for what you guys do, because if these things were on fire, I would have been in trouble by now.
Liz says it's not safe for students to light the poi on fire until they've gone through 6 to 8 weeks of safety training. And this is what years of dedicated practice can look like. So, as for the future of Pyrotechniq, they say the sky is the limit.
I would like to turn our troupe into something that would be on the same level as perhaps Cirque du Soleil someday. Just have more props, more spectacle, more costumes, more excitement, just a greater repertoire to share with everyone, because it's inspiring and a great gift.